Part 4 of 7 morning arrived again, this time with a crispness in the air that hinted at approaching autumn. Miriam awoke to the smell of damp earth and fallen leaves carried in through her slightly ajar window. She took a moment to stretch, feeling the slow awakening of her muscles, the subtle reminder that her body was a companion in her quiet journey. After breakfast, she decided to visit the small public library she had often passed but rarely entered. The building, old and understated, smelled of paper, wood polish, and the faint trace of Inca scent that immediately felt comforting. She wandered through aisles of books, running her fingers over spines with no specific aim in mind. Some books whispered familiarity, others hinted at distant worlds she had never explored. Eventually, her hand brushed against a collection of poetry, and she pulled it off the shelf. Drawn to its worn cover, she opened the book at random and read, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." The words seemed to echo within her, resonating with a truth she instinctively knew. She took a small stack of poetry collections to a table by the window, where the soft morning light pulled across the surface. As she read, Miriam found herself absorbed in words describing ordinary life with extraordinary clarity. The poem spoke of quiet mornings, of fleeting smiles, of the weight and grace of everyday acts. She felt a resonance within her, a recognition that her own life, while outwardly simple, carried the same depth when examined closely. The poet's ability to find magic in the mundane inspired her, and she began to see the potential beauty in her own surroundings. As the morning deepened, Miriam finished her tea, and the library's hushed atmosphere encouraged her to move to a quieter corner. There, surrounded by countless stories, she felt a sense of peace she often sought but rarely found. When she closed the book, she noticed a bookmark with a faded pressed flower, a silent testament to someone else's connection to the pages. It was a simple detail, yet it touched her with the understanding that joy did not need proof. It was in noticing the light fall across the table, the rhythm of her own breathing, the hum of life continuing around her. On her way home, Miriam paused at a small cafe she had never entered before. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with pastries drew her in. Inside, the space was cozy, filled with the murmur of conversations and the gentle clinking of cups. She ordered a cup of herbal tea and a slice of apple tart. As she sipped, she watched people come and go. A young man, his brow furrowed in concentration, was reading intently on his phone. An elderly couple sat in the corner, sharing a quiet conversation, their hands intertwined. The barista moved with precision and care, arranging drinks with an artist's touch. Each person carried their own ordinary dramas and triumphs, yet none of them needed to prove their existence to anyone else. In that observation, Miriam felt a subtle kinship. The idea of needing to prove oneself seemed foreign to her now. Why should one need to prove the quiet dignity of existence? To be alive, to experience the world through one's senses, to engage with life on one's own terms, was not a performance. It was a gift. And what was the purpose of this gift if not to be received, to be cherished in its rawest form? As the afternoon deepened, Miriam returned home and found the postman had delivered a package for her. It was a box she had eagerly awaited, containing new art supplies she had ordered. Inside, nestled in protective packaging, were soft pencils, fine brushes, and a set of delicate watercolor paints. Miriam carefully unrolled the watercolor paper, feeling the texture beneath her fingers. Each item was a tool for creation, a conduit for expressing the world as she saw it. As she arranged them on her desk, she felt a spark of excitement, not born from accomplishment or external expectations, but from the pure anticipation of creation. With her art supplies laid out, Miriam embarked on an afternoon of exploration. She experimented with watercolors, letting the pigments blend and flow on the paper. She sketched delicate patterns, finding joy in the precision of pencil strokes. As the light shifted in the room, she observed how shadows deepened and colors transformed, capturing the nuances on her canvas. Each brushstroke, each shading was an act of communion with the world. It was a celebration of existence, an offering of love to life itself. Later that evening, Miriam found herself drawn to the window. The sky was a canvas of soft hues, and the city lights twinkled into life, transforming the familiar into something magical. She watched as families strolled through the park, their laughter echoing in the twilight. Lovers whispered sweet nothings, their love story unfolding under the watchful gaze of the moon. Street lamps cast a warm glow on passers-by, turning everyday faces into silhouettes of beauty. Miriam felt a profound sense of connection, realizing that in this shared experience of light and shadow, joy and sorrow, she was part of a grand tapestry. We are all travelers in this world, she thought, journeying through life with hopes and dreams that color our path. Returning to her desk, Miriam opened her notebook, ready to pen her thoughts and feelings. Writing had become her anchor, a way to navigate the complexities of emotion and thought. Today, her entries flowed onto the page, a testament to the day's discoveries. She wrote of the library, its shelves whispering stories, of the cafe where lives intersected and the art she had created, an offering of love to the world. Her entries were a dialogue with her inner self, a conversation about the quiet truths she was embracing. And as she wrote, she felt a sense of wholeness envelop her. That night, as Miriam drifted into sleep, she carried with her the words, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." These words, once read, had become a mantra, a reminder to approach life with open eyes and a receptive heart. The library had shown her that wonder could be found in the most unexpected places. The cafe had taught her about the beauty of shared existence, and her art had been a testament to the joy of creation. These experiences, seemingly ordinary, had woven themselves into the fabric of her day, enriching it with meaning and purpose. As the days passed, Miriam continued her practice of mindful living, seeking out moments of stillness and connection in the midst of life's busyness. Each day brought new challenges, new opportunities for growth and understanding. But Miriam faced them all with a newfound sense of courage born from within. She had discovered that true strength lay not in grand gestures or extraordinary circumstances, but in the quiet, intentional way one chose to live. Miriam learned that joy did not need proof. It was in noticing the light fall across the table, the rhythm of her own breathing, the hum of life continuing around her. In the depths of her being, Miriam knew that she was not alone. She was connected to a vast web of existence, to the rustling leaves, the twinkling stars, and the beating hearts of all living beings. This realization brought a deep sense of solace and belonging. As she navigated life's winding paths, she carried with her the wisdom that true fulfillment lay not in proving oneself to the world, but in living a life that was deeply felt and authentically lived. And so Miriam continued her journey, embracing each moment, each breath, each heartbeat as an opportunity to express and receive the boundless wonder of life. The library, the cafe, the art studio, they had all become sanctuaries where she could be her true self, where she could connect with the world in a way that was both humbling and empowering. In these spaces, she found the strength to face the world with grace and resilience. One day, as Miriam sat by her window, watching the world come alive with the promise of a new dawn, she knew that she had found her place. She was not defined by grand achievements or societal expectations, but by the quiet, steady rhythm of her own existence. She had discovered that the purpose of life was not to be proven, but to be lived. And in that realization, she found freedom. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to share for more insightful and inspiring content. Thank you for joining me on this journey. And until next time, may you find joy in the everyday magic of life.